What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Christiana, and I am back with another video. Welcome to a new series on my channel. If you've been here for any length of time, you know I call you guys my babes. You are my babes. So if you are here and you are subscribed to my channel, you are officially a babe. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and join the family. So with that being said, I decided to kind of start my girl talk, girl chat series, and I'm calling it Hey Babes. And so we can just have a conversation, right, about things that affect us as women, things that affect us as Black women, and let's just have a conversation about things that are happening in the media, things that that happen in our everyday life. Whatever it is, this is a safe space for us to talk about the things that affect us. So today we are going to talk about dealing with a narcissist. So if you're interested in having this conversation, go ahead and keep watching. If you're under 21, grab your drink. If you're over 21, grab your drink. And let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. So today I am just drinking Body Armor. Actually, this isn't even alcohol in this glass because I'm going to the gym after I film this. So this is just a Body Armor Light, but whatever. Aesthetics. And we are going to talk about dealing with narcissists. Now, dealing with a narcissist is something I know all too well about. It can be draining, it can be exhausting, it can change the way you view yourself, the way you interact in relationships after this. It is just a very toxic situation to be in. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this today to see if maybe you may be dealing with a narcissist. If you've dealt with a narcissist and you somehow came out of the situation, please comment down below, engage in the conversation. But let's go ahead and start with, what does dealing with a narcissist look like right off the bat? So the tricky thing about dealing with a narcissist is they come right in being everything that you want them to be. They are love bombing the heck out of you. They are giving you all the validation, all the communication. They're probably calling you all the time, texting you all the time, complimenting you. They are love bombing you. They are portraying everything that you need. And that is just a tactic to get you to need them. Now, let me tell you how right off the bat you can tell if you're dealing with a narcissist or if you're dealing with just a genuine good guy. Because we can't call every guy who comes in being everything you want them to be a narcissist. That's not fair. But a narcissist will love bomb you, and then all of a sudden it'll change. Not for long, but you'll always get a little hint of them pulling back whatever they've been giving you. That is so that they can get you addicted to the feeling of having them in your life. So they will probably, for maybe 2-3 weeks, come hard with the communication, with the love, with the compliments, with the affection. They're gonna come right in, super heavy, super strong. They might even tell you they love you very early on, and then very quickly they're gonna pull it all back. So that way you kind of get used to the up and downs that you're going to experience throughout your entire relationship with the narcissist. So off the bat, if you're dealing with a dude and he's giving you all the consistency in the world and then it just stops out of nowhere, or the affection stops out of nowhere, or he just seems very changed, very irritable, just something random, like something completely thrown from his personality without any reason, without any explanation, run, because he's a narcissist and he's about to switch on you and get you used to him switching on you. Now, with that being said, so what happens after that? After that, you're gonna start realizing how quickly and comfortably this person invalidates your feelings. And let me just explain what it feels like to have your feelings invalidated. So let's say you came home from work. You worked all day, your significant other was off. You come home, the house is a mess. And you tell them like, hey, dang, like, the house is a mess. You couldn't have cleaned up a little bit. Like, I'm exhausted. They're going to make you feel guilty for that sentiment. They're going to make you feel like, well, they're going to either bring up something they've just recently done for you to try to invalidate all that, or they're going to make you feel like what you're asking for is too much. The trickiest thing about dealing with a narcissist is they are very good at dancing around the actual problem. So if you tell them, hey, very directly, this is a problem for me, they're going to do everything but address that head on. If you're seeing that early on in your relationship, run, because they are about to manipulate you beyond belief. And I think a lot of people don't know what manipulation really looks like, especially a lot of younger women. They don't really know what manipulation looks like. But anytime you are very clear about something that you are feeling or thinking, and then that person alters it and has you questioning yourself, you're being manipulated. Now, I'm not saying that you can't change your mind about things. I'm not saying that somebody can't come in and offer you a different perspective and you can't change your mind. That's healthy. But anytime you are very clear about something, especially things you feel, if you are very clear about how you feel about something and then somebody comes in and changes that to alter, to fit their narrative, to fit better into their lifestyle, to better comfort themselves, you are being manipulated. So let's just say that narcissists are master manipulators. Now, I actually saved an article on Healthline because it hit a lot of really good points that I wanted to talk about. So there's this really good article on Healthline about, I think it's called 11 Signs That You're Dating a Narcissist. And one thing that I really wanted to hit on was they lack empathy. So not every narcissist is completely invalidating. Sometimes they realize that you value validation and they mimic that, but they don't have any actual empathy for the things that you feel. So let's say something really bad happened at work and you're visibly upset, you're crying, whatever. That person is going to tell you, I'm so sorry this happened to you, this is terrible, you know, I'm here for you if you need me, blah 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 blah. But they're never gonna actually do anything. They're not going to actually, like, they're not gonna feel anything for you. And if you stay in that state too long, they're gonna become annoyed with you. If you're sad too long, if you're down on yourself too long, if you're upset, if you're whatever, because they don't actually empathize with what you're feeling. They're just mimicking that because they know you value that. So if you're with somebody and it just seems like you can never feel anything and it be a correct feeling to them, it's because they have no empathy and they're going to 100% again use that lack of empathy to manipulate you. Another telltale sign right in the beginning when you're dealing with somebody is that they refuse to define the relationship with you. So and there's a number of reasons why somebody might choose not to define a relationship. Maybe you guys have, but here's the thing, not necessarily, because if you're dealing with somebody and they have, and you guys have come to an understanding that this is not serious, this is casual, or we're gonna take our time to get to know each other, we don't really want to define it, that is still defining it in a sense, you feel me? Like, we've established that we're not going to define this just yet. That is a mutual understanding. If you are dealing with somebody who refuses to define a relationship with you, yet they still want work, they want the benefits of defining a relationship with you, that is a narcissist. So if you're dealing with a man, and let's say y'all agree to keep it casual, and you are thus seeing other people, and they try to tell you that somehow it's not okay for you to see other people, but they are going to see other people, but they somehow guilt you. They might not tell you directly like, oh, you can't see other people, because of course that sounds off-putting. There's no way to justify that. But if they somehow guilt you, like, oh, so you just out here dating everybody, you out here sleeping with everybody, if they find ways to guilt you for participating in the agreement that y'all agreed upon, that person is a narcissist, because what they're doing is they're setting you up to have you in the realm that they want you in, but they're also leaving their options open for anything that better that should come along. That is 100% narcissistic behavior. If you are in a place where you have said, I want a relationship, I am dating seriously, I'm dating with intent, and the person responds to you with, well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, but I still want to hang out, they still want to do all the boyfriend girlfriend shit? Oh no, absolutely not. Run for the hills, run in the opposite direction. There's a narcissist and he is already seeing how far he can go with you. How much can he change your mind? How much can he scoot you towards something he feels more comfortable with and away from what you've already established is not comfortable for you? 100% run, run, run. The last kind of telltale sign I want to talk about when you're dealing with a narcissist is, and this is probably the red flag for most people. They don't really see all the other things because they're so cleverly hidden. They don't see the love bombing. They don't see the manipulation. They don't see, they don't see all those things in the beginning. Most of us don't. I know I did not. But when people kind of start perking their ears up and kind of recognizing they're dealing with a narcissist is the fact that they are never wrong. If you are dealing with somebody and you have very clearly there's a gnat in my house. If you are dealing with somebody and you have very clearly stated to somebody, hey, this hurts me, this is why it hurts me, this is why it affects me, and they don't offer an apology, that person's 100% a narcissist. And that is, like I said, when most people kind of realize, when you constantly are being hurt and that person can't offer an apology, it's because they're never wrong. A narcissist thinks of themselves so highly that nothing they do is wrong. It's always your fault. And that's another sign too. If you bring them an issue and they somehow tell you why it's your fault, or convince you that it's your fault, especially if they're able to convince you that it's your fault, you're definitely dealing with a narcissist. So that is when you kind of have to bring it back. So if you tell that person, hey, you put ketchup on my hot dog and I don't want ketchup, I only want a mustard, and that hurt me. Like, I'm just using a silly example, and that hurt me. And they tell you, well, you know, you need the ketchup. Ketchup's good for you. It contains tomatoes. You needed that ketchup, so I figured you needed it, so I went ahead and did it for you. They flip it. They make it seem like you're crazy for feeling what you're feeling. That's when you gotta bring it back and say, well, okay, I can respect that, but I still didn't ask for ketchup. So I feel like you kind of went against my wishes. You can't go down that rabbit hole with them. And of course, that's a very simplistic, silly example, but they will convince you that you're the one in the wrong and then use that to justify their behavior. If you participate, if you start explaining yourself, if you start going down that rabbit hole with them, they've already won. Immediately, if you are telling somebody something is bothering you, something is hurting you, and they take it to a different topic, bring it right back. Every time, bring it right back. Because their goal is to start a conversation about something unrelated, so you forget what you were even talking about, and before you know it, you're in a whole argument about something completely different. And number one, if you have to do that, again, run. I'm gonna kind of take a brief intermission before I talk about how to get out of a relationship with a narcissist, and talk about some of the things that some of the women said in my Instagram. So I put on Instagram today that I was filming this that I was filming this girl talk, and I asked these women at what moment did they realize they were dealing with a narcissist. I want to read a couple of the responses so that anybody who may be dealing with a narcissist and is reading this maybe can see some of these situations in their own situation and feel encouraged to get out. Okay, so first one I read was, he was very dismissive towards my feelings. What did we just talk about? The invalidation of your feelings. You can never feel anything. They are right, you are wrong. You are stupid for feeling what you're feeling, and you need to grow up. And another thing they'll do is they will present, if you have a feeling and you're talking about it, they will try to present your feelings with logic. And it might not be actual logic, but something that they say they're looking at from a logical perspective. What they're doing is invalidating feelings altogether because they don't have any empathy. So they are invalidating your feelings and making you feel like that you are being over emotional and you are not thinking rationally. And they have created a hierarchy of rational, whatever, conversation over your feelings, that you feel almost stupid for even speaking about your feelings because you're not being rational. Watch out for that. When I was blamed for his cheating and I was the reason he was unmotivated. Again, we talked about this. Narcissists don't do anything wrong. If something bad happened and you're presenting it to them, they are going to tell you you are the reason for it. When he tried to play the victim card after he was at fault. Again, they're never wrong. It's always you. And another thing they will do is they will actually mimic emotions to play to your emotional side. So let's say you have them backed into a corner with all the facts and all the things that they're doing wrong, that they have hurt you, whatever. They will break down. Then they have feelings. Then they can cry because now they're going to appeal to your empathy and keep you from making a decision that you know is right for you. I did everything wrong. Literally everything I did, nothing was right. Again, invalidating your feelings. You are wrong, I am right, and that they can constantly keep you in a space where you're constantly looking to be validated by them, they've already won. They control you in every aspect at that point. Somebody said, when he told me I wasn't ready to be a mom because I had really bad morning sickness. That, number one, is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm so sorry to the woman that had to experience that, because childbirth and creating a child is hard enough without some asshole who has no idea what it feels like invalidating your experience. So again, let me just say, I'm so sorry that you had to experience that. But that also goes back to that same thing we were just talking about, how they will put a hierarchy over emotions and logic, their sense of logic. So this person has taken her emotions, and it's not even her emotion, this is a physiological response. Morning sickness, and she's probably not feeling great. She's probably miserable. She's probably tired. So she's got a lot of emotions that are coming behind this physiological response. And he is telling her, if you cannot handle that, then you're not ready to be a mom. Like, as if that has anything to do with whether you're ready or not to be a mom. But again, like I said, that's that invalidation of feelings. That's that hierarchy of logic over emotions, and it's just all a way to manipulate you and control you. And then you feel like you have something to prove to this person. And that's another thing. They will always consistently make you feel like you have something to prove to them. You have to prove that you're loyal. You have to prove that you are smart. You have to prove that you are driven. You have to prove that you bring something to this relationship. Like you hear that all the time with all the world-class manipulators. What do you bring to the table? Like, whatever. But all I'm saying is, if you feel like you are constantly having to explain your feelings, or you're constantly having to defend your feelings, that is not a person that you want to be with in general, but you are probably also dealing with a narcissist. So now that we've established all of the different ways that you're dealing with a narcissist, you've seen all the signs, you've heard all the stories, and you're saying, okay, I may be dealing with a narcissist. How do I leave? The thing about leaving a narcissist is they think they are the greatest thing on the planet. Like, they don't think that anybody would leave them. If they think that you are leaving them, you are messing with the psyche of, I am the greatest person here, I'm the greatest person for you. You are essentially telling them, you are not good enough for me, so I am leaving you. And that is going to screw with them so bad that they are going to do everything in their power to keep you. They are going to do the breakdown and the manipulating your emotions. They're going to mimic the emotions that they think are going to make you stay. They're going to love bomb you to get you to stay or get you to come back. So for those reasons, if you do find yourself dealing with a narcissist and you find that they have already been able to manipulate you, you can't tell them. You literally cannot tell a narcissist that you're leaving them. Now, of course, this does not apply to my people who are like in marriages with a narcissist, or, you know, got kids, property, all kinds of things tied up that make it to where, you know, leaving may be a little bit more complicated. But if you're not living with this person, if you do not have to have communication with this person, the only way for you to leave that narcissist is to cut them off completely. You cannot tell them that you are done. You cannot do some long drawn out conversation, because all they're going to do is gaslight you, manipulate you, then love bomb you and get you to stay. You cannot give them one more chance. Their behavior is not going to change. You have to just leave the situation and leave it quietly. Block them on everything and keep it moving, because if not, you will be consistently in a cycle where you are being manipulated. And every time you think you've gotten the strength to leave, that person is going to tell you why they need you or why you need them. So you can't tell a narcissist you're leaving them. You got to just bounce. And that is about the only advice I can give to you, is just realize that there are people out there who actually care about you, who don't want you for some reason to validate themselves. And that was a problem that I came across a lot, and I come across a lot in dating, is that men see me, they see who I am, they see what I look like, they see the way I carry myself, and I am something for them to possess. I'm a thing to have on their arm to gloat about. I'm not a person to them, I'm not an object to them. Like, I'm not an object. I am an object to them, I'm not a person. So for that reason, I come across a lot of narcissistic men that feel like they deserve me. It's just the way the world works. But there are people out there who actually value you as a person. If you are watching this and you find yourself identifying with any of these experiences, and especially in your current relationship, please know that you deserve better than that. And I really, really hope that listening to this has given you the courage to maybe step out of it. Do some more research on your own. I'm going to tag down below the Healthline article that I found. There's also a couple other really great articles about leaving a narcissist, you know, or, you know, how to survive a narcissist, those kind of things, because narcissists come in all levels. They come in, you know, they're already mentally abusive. They can escalate to being verbally abusive. They can escalate to being physically abusive. And if you are dealing with any of those things, please understand that that is not what you deserve. You did nothing to deserve that. And I know that that might not be something that you're hearing, so please hear it from me. You did nothing to deserve whatever you're experiencing right now. Please leave. So anyway, that is all I have for y'all today. I really hope that you enjoyed this this girl talk. If you feel comfortable opening up down below about your experience with a narcissist, please do so. You may help somebody. You may even save a life. If you find that any of these things are resonating with you, please reach out to me via my Instagram, you know, my DM. I will check it, and you know, we can have a conversation if you need some advice or any of those things, or just have a conversation with the ladies down below. I'm sure there are a lot of great ladies with a whole lot of wisdom that they can offer you on your situation. Until next time, I will see you in the next video, babes. Bye.